So once you know that the elemental stiffness matrix, then the next step is you have to find out the each and every element stiffness matrix. So the fourth step is need to calculate each and every element stiffness matrix. So in the problem nature, in the very first, we have assumed that the first one is a bar problem, and in this bar problem we have taken that there is a two different cross sections, and also we have discretized this into the two elements. So the element 1 and this is the element 2. So in this discretization, the element 1 having a nodal number 1 comma 2 and element 2 having a 2 comma 3. So once you know that simple bar element stiffness matrix, that is called the stiffness matrix, element stiffness matrix having a nodal number 1 comma 2, therefore you need to find out the first element stiffness matrix, that is called K superposition 1, and second element stiffness matrix you should find out the K superposition 2. So means that by using the elemental stiffness matrix, that is called K is equal to the AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So using this formula you should find out the what would be the K superposition 1 as well as K superposition 2. The superposition 1 and 2 indicated that the element number. 1 is indicated that the for first element stiffness matrix, that is having nodal number 1 comma 2. So this is for the stiffness matrix K superposition 1. Similarly, for second element it having a nodal number of 2 comma 3, and this is the element 2, and it is possible to define the K superposition 2 by using this formula. So once you know that K1, K2, then after that you go for the assembly, that is the next step. So this is for the first problem, and for similarly for second case we have taken that the truss, and here the truss is the 4 elements. There are the 4 elements are there in a truss problem. So the first element having a nodal number 1 comma 2, I said that this is element 1, and second element 2 comma 3, and third element would be the element having a nodal number 3 comma 1, and fourth element having it is a nodal number 3 comma 4. So therefore in a truss, using the truss formula you should find out the element stiffness matrix for a element 1 having a nodal number 1 comma 2 and put down that as a K superposition 1. Similarly you have to take a second element, and the second element is it is a vertical in nature, so that is called 2 comma 3, and this is the element 2, and for this one also you should find out what would be the K superposition 2 using the elemental stiffness matrix formula for the bar. And next one is the third element. The third element is it is like a incline, and it having a nodal number 1 comma 3. So therefore for this one you should find out the what would be the K superposition 3 by using the elemental stiffness matrix of bar formula. Similarly the fourth element, that element 4 would be, it is like a horizontal one, and it has a nodal number 3 comma 4, and need to be calculate the K superposition 4 for a fourth element stiffness matrix. So by using the simple truss element stiffness matrix formula, the stiffness matrix formula would be the same, but the same formula can be applicable for the element 1 and element 2 and element 3 as well as element 4. So once you calculated the K superposition 1 using the bar stiffness using the truss element stiffness matrix, and K superposition 2 as well as K superposition 3 and K superposition 4. Therefore, once you know that each and every individual element stiffness matrix, the next step is you go for the assembling matrix. Similarly, the third category is a beam. So in a beam, we have discretized this beam into a two elements. So in the last session also we have discussed that beam element having a uniform distributed load for some area. So this we have discretized into the two element. So that is called nodal number 1 comma 2 having a element 1 and 2 comma 3 is having a element 2. So therefore it is possible to calculate the K superposition 1 for a beam using the beam stiffness matrix. Similarly, for element 2, you should calculate the K superposition 2 using the beam element stiffness matrix formula. So that we have seen in the last class. What would be the stiffness matrix for the simple beam having a two nodes? So using that formula, it is possible to calculate that K superposition 1 as well as K superposition 2. So once you calculate this one, then you have to go for the assembling the stiffness matrix. So now the next step is, the fifth step is, once you know that each and every element stiffness matrix, then you go for the assemble the all individual stiffness matrix or all individual element stiffness matrices to get the global stiffness matrix. This is a very important word, global stiffness matrix. See here. So now the detailed assembling method we have covered in the one video. So please go for that video, how to assemble that each and every element stiffness matrix. Once you know that each and every element stiffness matrix, how to assemble. So we have a very simplified process to get the global stiffness matrix. Please go through that video to assemble that each and every element stiffness matrix. So now at this point of time, it is possible to talk about that the first category problem bar, and we have discretized this into the two elements. So element 1 and element 2. So element 1 we got that K superposition 1 and element 2 we got that K superposition 2. So element 1 is a 2 by 2 matrix and element 2 also 2 by 2 matrix, because the simple bar element having the formula of the simple bar element stiffness matrix would be the 2 by 2 matrix only. Now, so once you assemble or once you know the K superposition 1 for first element and K superposition 2 for second element, you should assemble, or nothing, assembling is never clubbing. So if you assemble that one, you're going to get the global stiffness matrix, that is called K. So how to know the global stiffness matrix range? So that is very simple. Here in a problem there are the three nodal number 1, nodal number 2, nodal number 3. So there is the three nodal numbers, each nodal number having only 1 degree of freedom. So therefore you will get the 3 into 1 3. So therefore always the global stiffness matrix range would be the 3 by 3 for this case. So here, why? Because how you know this range means, again I am repeating, here in this discretization I got that total number of nodals. This is called number of nodes. The total number of nodes are 3 and each nodal number having a only 1 degree of freedom. So 3 into 1 become that 3. So therefore always the stiffness matrix or the global stiffness matrix are square matrix. So square matrix means, so it would be the 3 by 3 only for